everyone, welcome to today's lesson. We are going to talk about radicals some more here. So far we have learned how to multiply and divide radicals. Today we're going to talk about how we can add and subtract radicals. So that's our goal for today. And before we jump right in, I want to kind of compare it to something that you guys already know about. You are already very good at combining like terms. So for example, I would say I could add 6h plus 5h to give me 11h. And radicals work the same way. I am going to add the coefficients, but I'm going to keep the variables, or the radicals in this case, the same. So 6 square root of 7 plus 5 square root of 7 would give me 11 square root of 7. So add coefficients, keep the radicals the same. All right, so let's see another one. Again, I'm going to start with comparing it to like terms. On this one, we would add the 9w with the negative 1w to give us 8w. And then we have the 5x separately with nobody to combine with. And radicals, again, same way. We add the ones that look alike. So we have a 9 square root of 10 and a negative 1 square root of 10. We'd get 8 square root of 10. And then we have this square root of 3 that has nobody to combine with, so we just keep it. That would be our final answer. All right, so now let's practice a few more. So we've got 4 square root of 7 plus 1 square root of 7. That would give us 5 square root of 7. Here they're all square root of 11, so I'm going to keep the square root of 11, and I just need to add my coefficients. So 3 and a negative 9 would be negative 6, plus my 2 would give me negative 4 square root of 11 for our final answer. And I'm going to start throwing in variables now. They work the same way. So they both have a square root of a. So I'm going to keep the square root of a and add my coefficients. 9 plus negative 2 would give me 7 square root of a. Here they're all the square root of k. So I'm going to put them all together. We have 7 minus 10. That would be negative 3. Plus my 2 would give me negative 1, or just negative square root k. All right, go ahead and pause now and try these three on your own. There's a few of them that are a little tricky, so throwing in some challenges. Okay, let's see how you did. First one, if you're like my class, they all got stumped on this one because they were looking at square root of 3 and square root of 5, and they weren't the same, so we can't do anything. Our answer stays 6 square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 5. There was nothing to combine on this one. All right, the next one, I do have the square root of 7s. That's 1 square root of 7 minus 5 square root of 7. That would give us negative 4 square root of 7. Now again, my class missed this one because they kept 5 square root of 9, but you know what the square root of 9 is. That's 3. That would be 5 times 3. So final answer would be negative 4 square root of 7 plus 5 times 3, 15. And number 7, I'm going to combine the square root of w's together. Make sure I include the negative out front on that one. So 8 and a negative 11 would be a negative 3 square root w. And then I still have, I believe that's a positive, yep. Still have a positive 3 square root of x for our final answer. Okay, so now that we've got the basics down, let's add a little bit more difficulty. So sometimes we're going to have to make them the same, and we can do that by simplifying them first. So for example, in this problem, I have 5 square root of 12 plus 2 square root of 3. They're not the same, but if I simplify the square root of 12, I can make them the same. Okay, so I can break up square root of 12 into the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. And the square root of 4 is 2, which would come out front with my 5, and we'd multiply it, so that would be 10 square root 3. So this problem is actually 10 square root 3 plus 2 square root 3, which gives us a total of 12 square root 3 for our final answer. All right, again, next problem, square root of 50, square root of 2, not the same, but if I simplify square root of 50, maybe I can make them the same. That splits up into 25 times 2. Square root of 25 is 5. That's going to come out front here with the 3. So this would be 15 square root 2. So if I replace that down here, 15 square root of 2 plus 6 square root of 2 would give me 21 square root 2. All right, let's try a few more. Sometimes there could be more than one that could be simplified. So for example, this one. So always try to simplify everything that you can first. Square root 12 could simplify into square root of 4 times square root of 3. Square root of 4 is 2. That would come out front with the 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, and square root of 3. 10, I can only break up into 5 times 2, and neither of them are perfect squares, so that is already simplified. Square root of 40 would break up into 4 times 10. Square root of 4 is 2. That's going to come out front with my 7. So this would be negative 14 square root 10. And put your like terms together here. Square root of 10s. I'm going to keep my 6 square root 3. Add those together, I would get negative 10 square root 10. So for my final answer. All right, next one. 28 can break up into 4 times 7. Square root of 4 is 2. That's going to come out front here. To multiply with the 8 to give us 16. I still have the square root of 7, and don't forget your x. 63 breaks up into square root of 9 times square root of 7. Square root of 9 is 3. That's going to come out front. So this would be minus 3 square root 7. Don't forget your x. All right, now they're like terms. They both have a square root of 7x. And 16 minus 3 gives us 13 square root 7x. All right, go ahead and pause here and try these last two on your own, and we'll go through them together. All right, let's see how you did. Square root of 8 breaks up into 4 times 2. Square root of 4 is 2. That's going to come out front to be multiplied by the 7. So that would be 14 square root 2. 18 is square root of 9 times 2. Square root of 9 is 3. That's going to come out front. So negative 3 square root 2. 32, the biggest one, is 16 times 2. Square root of 16 is 4. That's going to come out front with the 3 to be multiplied with it. That would give us 12 square root 2. Now they're all square root 2, so I can keep the square root of 2 and add across my coefficients. 14 minus 3 is 11, plus 12 is 23 square root 2. All right, last one. 27 breaks up into 9 times 3. Square root of 9 is 3. Goes out front to be multiplied with the 8 to give us 24. Square root 2, square root 3. And don't forget the x. 75 breaks up into 25 and 3. Square root of 25 is 5. That's going to come out front to be multiplied with my negative 3. That would give us negative 15 square root 3x. They are like terms. Put those like terms together. So keep your square root 3x. 24 minus 15 is 9. So final answer is 9 square root 3x. All right, hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, shoot me a message on Schoology. See you guys.